Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Coming to you live from Santee, California. Annie just lit a candle to keep us warm.
Super chilly out here today, so thank you.
Yeah, really cold, so burr.
I feel like I need a jacket.
Thank you.
So
In
good,
such
so
earnest.
good.
Annie really made me laugh just now, like 10 minutes ago. It was so like menacing in the studio. She shut the door before turning the lights on.
It was so dark, but there's like a single
You have this little like skylight thing that spins, and Annie goes, "Oh my God, I'm gonna kill you." You had to be there. It was really funny.
Because we were both like, oh my gosh, it's so dark in here. And I was trying to think of something.
Look at her, she's crying again.
Annie's the only person that laughs to tears at her own joke.
A bit, and that just, it came out. It was like, oh my God.
I'm gonna kill you.
It was pretty funny.
And you didn't.
And
I'm glad you found it funny because other people would be like, that's alarming.
that's such a subtweet to other people. Name them.
Other people?
Name them right now.
Your parents.
No, my parents would think that's funny.
All right. Well, this is What the
Anyway.
Podcast. Hey.
Hey, yo.
Welcome back, all you WTPers. I'm Ryan.
And I'm John.
And together we are
Ryan and John.
On the couch as always, producer Cara Tafolla.
Guess my drink.
Passion black tea matcha.
I wanted John
That's
to
been
guess.
sitting for too long.
I had
It
a
looks-
I
it
had
looks a
taste of
little bit
matcha
dark.
lemonade the other day. It was
Oh.
This is trying to be a matcha lemonade when the shop
It,
didn't have
it
lemonade.
has a certain funk that I'm just not accustomed to.
the matcha.
The matcha.
Yeah, I agree.
I love a funk.
Joining us this week, she loves a funk. Annie the Skovmand. The lovely.
I'm going to stand by it.
Always fresh, never frozen. I feel like out of the four of us,
feel
I
like
love a
sometimes
funk
she's
the
frozen,
most.
For the record, I think sometimes she's frozen.
Always fresh, never frozen.
You think I'm frozen?
When the laptop's up, I think she's
When the laptop's
frozen.
up,
I
yeah.
think she's the frosting.
I was editing last week's episode,
Yes.
and the amount of yawns, open mouth,
yeah.
no coverage.
That's like every week for me.
Yeah, no, I would say. I mean, you're frozen quite a bit, but Annie was iced out last week for sure.
I was tired.
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I had a long week.
Okay.
I was last
All
week.
right.
Last week was what day? My nephew had been born.
Oh yeah,
and then I had
mazel.
wedding.
Let's not date
Wait,
it too
hold
much.
on, hold on.
Not date it too much.
Airheads, rise up!
Airheads. Now,
Oh, really,
you're probably
Cara?
watching this several weeks.
Aaron spelled with an E, huh?
Yeah.
Airheads, rise up!
There it is. That's
There you
it.
go.
E.
Oh, that's nice.
E. Yeah, Airheads.
I wonder what kind of
Shout out
gang
to your
sign that
sister.
is.
And we hard launch the name of
The
this
name,
We
baby?
I
already
mean-
did, yes.
On the
Oh yeah,
post
Lee
show.
Harvey
Post show.
Oswald. That's right.
Lee
that's right.
Harvey Oswald.
And by the
Lee
time
Harvey
this comes out, it'll
It'll definitely be,
be
yeah.
mainstream at that
Yeah,
point.
for sure. Everybody will know about
For
it.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So
but
you made it through.
I've
Whatever.
been tired. But you know what? There's just like, a lot going on in life, and I'm glad I get to hang out here and relax and have
So
fun conversation
insincere.
with my friends.
So
Wow.
insincere.
Thanks, buddy. No, I believe you. This is it keeps me it's like my North Star through the week. I'm like, oh, but podcast is that day. If we
Podcast
can
day.
get through podcast day, we can get through anything.
We can make it
Truly.
there. We'll make it. Right? New York?
The candle is on a tiny table and it's right by your foot and
That
you
you
keep
keep-
kicking
I
your
know.
foot.
I kind of want to
So
levitate
can we
it.
I'm gonna ask that maybe we move the table. Okay.
Now she's
Ooh.
levitating.
You're
off of
freaking
it.
me
Now
out.
she's
Stop levitating
off
it.
of it.
Stop levitating
You guys
it.
are a bunch of
crazy.
freaking babies.
Bunch of freaking babies.
Okay, well,
Oh, yeah,
I
you
mean,
freaking
that
babies
could be
would.
true. Well, guys, the thing about this show is that we're always talking about the darnest things,
The
you know?
darndest
We always
things.
get into conversations about, the craziest stuff.
Yeah.
It's like those conversations you have with, like, your old senile grandparent, around the Christmas dinner table.
War drops.
You start talking about the darndest things,
Mm-hmm.
Yep. What's up?
I
What?
There's a buggy on your shorts.
Oh, my
Okay.
God.
All right,
Derailing the
perfect.
episode.
Thank you.
a buggy.
You know what I mean? We talk
Yeah.
about the darndest things. And so right now, we're going to do some talking.
Some chatting, some talking.
Yeah.
You guys ever use a Ouija board?
Oh no, we've talked about this before.
You guys all hate Ouija boards. We talked about it.
Yeah, well, I'm not doing it again, but I've done it in the past.
Okay.
So you're cursed.
I was in the room when one happened.
Okay, so you're cursed.
No one else was in the room where it happened. The room where it happened. The room where it happened.
I saw one.
Show tune are we gonna sing this one?
Yeah.
I saw a Ouija board at a thrift store.
Oh.
So did I.
Spooky.
But was yours new?
No.
Oh,
Did-
mine
when
was
you-
like brand new and like wrapped in plastic.
When you
still.
walked by, did
Someone
it like
was
fall?
gifted
Did
it
the
and their
box
mom
fall
was
off the
like,
shelf and then
"Nope."
it'd fall out and then it
Way.
spelled something out to you?
And
that
and then
happen?
the thing started going.
It was like, Eddie, it's me.
And
And
it
he's
said,
like, I can't read that fast. Slow down.
I have dyslexia. Slow
I
down.
can't spell.
Wow.
H-E-L-L-O. Too fast. Go again.
One more time.
Dumb.
Do me a favor. Have you ever come across one that looks like really old and antique-y?
You want me to buy it for you?
Buy it. Yeah. How cool
Yeah.
would that be?
Pass.
What do you think activates it? Like buying it? Does buying
I
it connect
think-
you to it?
Touching it.
Financially, yes.
If I buy it for John, am I cursed too when I
Yeah.
give it to him?
No, I think it's when you use it.
Yeah, it's when
like
you use
touching
it.
it.
Okay.
And the big thing is, remember, as a kid, the whole lore was like you can use it and you can talk to spirits, but you have to say goodbye. Otherwise,
It leaves the portal
you leave the
open.
portal open. Yeah, that's the whole thing.
You know what's crazy? Hasbro game.
The one thing that has all the power, put it between your lips and never light it. Never give it the power. Did you guys ever
Oh.
see that?
Did you ever read the book?
You talking about the Fault in Our Stars? Yeah.
John Green's The Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah. Yeah.
John
Horrible.
My
Truly
sister graduated college, and I was reading the end of that book,
Uh-huh.
sobbing at the
Yeah.
graduation. And my sister was like, "Oh my gosh, it's okay. Thanks for being like, you don't have to cry. Like, thanks.
not
I'm
crying
proud
for
of me
you.
too. Like, fully
This book I'm
thinking I
reading.
was crying at her graduation, like out of like proudness. No, in
Uh-huh.
reality, it was out of John Green's Fault in Our Stars.
That's how I basically do the same thing with a Ouija board. I open it up and then I leave it on the floor and then I never use it. Never give it the power.
Never gave it the power.
No way.
Never light it.
Bad, evil, like that.
I
When
don't
did
know.
you? What are you an avid user? Do you own one?
No, I don't own one.
But
No,
I
he's
don't
not
think your
an
wife would be
avid
cool
user.
with that.
Yeah, she's not cool with it probably. I just I did it a lot at like other people's houses as a kid, and like we at in ASB in high school we do like a big end of the year like lock in, hang out in
Sure.
the gym, and it was a big deal to like to do that at like 3
You
a.m.
didn't Ouija board,
Yeah,
in
in a
the
high
gym
school
at
gym.
Santana?
Yeah, high school gym. Yeah,
dude.
yeah. So nothing ever really came up of it. Nobody was really home. So
Nobody was
No,
home. None
in
of
the high school
spirits
gym,
stayed.
I feel like for sure.
For sure, spooky, scary vibes.
yeah, we did
Yeah.
some crazy stuff in those lock-ins. It was kind of like that wasn't really crazy, but we just always did that. But like one
You look
time,
back and you're like,
there was
"Mm."
this little kid, and his name was Travis, but he went by Buddha. I don't know why. Like he self-proclaimed was like I'm Buddha, and so we all called him Buddha. But he was like this little tiny kid, and we taped him to a chair for like 3 hours. Everyone like taped him to this folding chair, and they just left him there. And then finally somebody.
Was he being like
Yeah,
an idiot, or-
he was super annoying.
Oh, okay.
He was at the time he was super annoying, but he was a good kid. But he came in as a freshman, which is super rare, and he was a part of ASB as a freshman,
Yeah.
which is like impossible because usually at the end of the year you either get elected or you get selected for the following year.
Mm-hmm.
But he had brothers that were there for a long time, and so they like let him in as a freshman, which like it only happened like
High school nepotism,
5
huh?
times. Yeah, it was pretty rare. But he was a good kid. But
I tied my sister to a pole one time and I left her there.
How long?
really.
Probably not like 15 minutes.
Burned her at the stake.
No. it
Oh,
was-
Witchcraft.
Yeah.
She used a Ouija board, burned her at the stake. Witchcraft.
Didn't you have a
The
fire
Ouija
story
board
where
told
you
me
started
to-
a fire?
Yeah,
as
yeah.
kids?
Uh-huh.
I saw Goody Proctor
Same
Dancing
kind of
with the
time.
Devil.
Same kind of shut up. Same kind of era where I was like starting fires and stuff in the lot.
What's the craziest thing you've seen at a
In
thrift
the
store?
lot.
At a thrift store?
Yeah, what's the craziest thing you think?
I gave probably the craziest thing I ever found at the thrift store as a gift to our good friend Taylor Peckham,
Which was what?
which was the statue of a dog, a border collie,
Oh.
that someone had taken seashells and like glued it to the outside to make the like pattern of the
Yes.
coat.
I remember now.
And it had googly eyes, and there were 2 of them at the thrift store. And he happened to call
Why
me while
you
I was
didn't
there.
buy the set is crazy. But
Well, because my overarching idea was that I'd give it to him for Christmas, and then I'd go and find the other one, and for his birthday I'd give him the other one. But then he did a wild move. He never acknowledged it.
What do you mean?
I gave it to him. Never acknowledged it.
He was like, "Oh, thanks."
Nope.
What do you?
He like thanked me for the presents, but he hadn't opened them yet. And then in this, never
this day?
No. Finally, like 2 weeks ago, I said, "Do you still have that dog statue?" He's like, "Oh yeah, it's in my room." And
Maybe you thought you gave it to him in earnest.
No, first you saw that thing.
I did, but
There's no way it had little seashells as teeth.
maybe he thought you made it or something.
No, I was fully on the phone. I said, "I can get you, this seashell statue border collie if you'd like." And he was like, "Yeah, I'd love that." And I said,
Okay.
"You think I'm kidding?"
You got it.
Well,
You think I'm joking?
Maybe he really likes it, but he thought you were making fun of it,
which I was.
and so he liked it, and he kept it, and he's like, "Thanks."
So
He's
sad
like, "Oh, I
to know
don't.
he
Now I don't want
have
to. He
taste.
doesn't want to talk about it because he really likes it, and you made him still feel dumb."
Yes, he's like, "Oh, I actually have a whole. What if he has a whole collection of them at
like,
home?
the only
And
one I was
he's
missing
like,
was the border collie.
You finished my collection, and you were like, "Look at this dumb,
Stupid
stupid
seashell
thing,
dog.
stupid seashell dog, dumb."
Ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and it
You don't
is.
have to call him ugly. I mean,
Well,
Don't call him ugly.
no,
Come
the
on.
dog's ugly.
Oh,
He's
okay.
fine.
You're not calling Taylor Peckham ugly?
Not to his face.
committed to the record.
Okay.
Something that I love about going to the thrift store is going there and seeing the T-shirt area, because
Yeah.
the T-shirts that get donated to Goodwill or to the Salvation Army or whatever are always like cursed. They're
Wacky.
super cursed. And I remember, this is throwing it back to like COVID days, like late 2020, when we could kind of go back outside again, but we were still wearing masks or whatever. We'd go to the thrift store and somebody had shirts made and they said like COVID party or coronavirus party 2020, and it had like a big like virus on it. And it was definitely like somebody had shirts made for their family reunion, like wore them at the beginning of March or whatever, and then realized, oh, like this isn't that funny, and donated it. And so there was literally like 10 shirts.
Okay.
You bought them all?
I bought
And
every
here
single
they
one of them,
are.
and I've got them for us COVID party. That was just, I mean, you always see like, yeah, old sports shirts or like, it's always like homemade shirts that like you're kind of deciphering. You're like a detective. Like, what was this shirt? What did this mean?
That's good.
It's like
I
somebody's
that.
basketball team or like an inside joke on a shirt.
So good.
I love
There's
it.
probably a few lip sync shirts floating
There
out
probably is.
Because I donated a good amount of the remaining lip sync battle shirts from a couple years ago.
The lip sync battle shirts.
We had merch.
There
Before
was
you
a,
guys
there was a
came.
merch drop. No, it was 1920s, wasn't it?
Oh, that was my
The
first year. I
20s,
came.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't. You don't have any more of those lying around?
Gone.
Dang.
Gone.
Maybe
Probably
if I
s-
go to the Goodwill.
Probably still at the Goodwill.
How
Okay.
long does Goodwill keep stuff?
That's messed up.
No, somebody probably bought.
Come on.
Their
A few of 'em.
turnaround has to be.
A couple months, you think?
No.
Or
You think they
No,
shuffle
I
stuff
think
to
they're-
different
Years?
stores?
I
you
think their turnaround is like every 3 weeks.
You think they shuffle stuff to other stores by chance? Like oh, we're gonna send
Maybe.
this up to
Probably because it's that kind of thing where if you're donating it here
the like who's
and
gonna
it
buy
gets
it
processed
right?
here, and then like you're just shopping in your own filth.
Well, that's and
the idea that somebody is donating to a Goodwill and also frequently shopping at said Goodwill.
Oh, you're acting like that doesn't happen.
No, we do that for sure. We do that all the time.
You two are the queens of purging and shopping at their
We
stores.
are the queens of purging,
yeah.
Cara and I.
Purge.
Purge.
I love a good purge. I love a like clear out the whole closet and then
Yeah, that is wild.
yeah, purge it and then get new
There's-
stuff.
There's some like infamous finds at Goodwill that I've had.
Mm.
Right. Well, actually, it's technically Jordan found it. A cop clown statue that I gave Ryan.
My
Cop
Christmas gift.
clown giving a speeding ticket to dog on a skateboard.
Yeah, you still have that? You think?
Oh, I got it.
It was like a homeless cop clown. There was so many layers.
It
I'm
was
to
curious
a
to know what the turnaround
hobo
in Ryan's
clown.
house is. You should give him something that you know
see
he's
how
not gonna
long
like
it
and
lasts.
See how long it sticks
If
around.
it's something weird like that, it stays maybe forever in
Maybe
my
forever?
house. Yeah, I have
Alright.
a lot of like weird trinkety little stuff like that.
You guys have a lot of little guys too.
a lot of little guys.
That
That's fairly new to my life, but really not, because like trinkety stuff and little guys kind of go hand in hand.
yes.
I'm in a constant battle of I'm trying to Not. I'm trying to accept the little guys movement of 2025.
You're in the process of accepting it.
I'm in the process of accepting it because
you.
I have been through a lot of little guy movements myself in a lot of ways. I'm a big collector.
Sure,
I've had Lego sets and I collect a lot of like random musical instruments.
True.
Nowadays it's like film cameras. I'm collecting a lot of.
Oh yeah,
so
you got a lot of film cameras.
I got a lot of film cameras for sure. So when something like Little Guys comes around,
yeah,
my initial reaction is like, that's weird.
You got to respect.
Why do we have so many of them?
Certainly.
But hey, that's
You've
what
got
marriage is.
to
Man.
respect the movement.
You got to respect the movement.
Yeah, I'm always shocked at thrift store. I don't go thrifting nearly as much as you guys do, but I'm always shocked at I always love going to the DVDs and CDs and seeing those.
Yes, the physical
That
media,
is
man.
wild,
know.
man. Like we used to have, like my parents used to have a whole bookshelf of DVDs that they had, and I remember like as I was getting older, there was more and more that were becoming available to me in terms of appropriateness, and so. I remember like seeing one as a kid and being like, I'm going to watch it someday. And my dad being like, well, it's rated R. So when you're older,
No, you're not.
And then the day being like, oh, I'm going to watch, like when I, go, finding it years later into my late teens, early 20s going, oh, I've always wanted to watch
I wanted to
this,
watch.
and now there's just rows and rows of DVDs and CDs in thrift stores. And it's like, I found an Office season 1 on DVD and I was like, oh, that's cool. And it was like 99 cents. And I was like, do I need it? No. So I didn't get it. But I was like, it's still interesting to me that there's all this physical media and like where does it all go? But also we're in a movement
about all the
where
DVDs.
thrifting is a big deal,
Like, remember Blockbuster? Like,
Yeah.
Blockbuster, there's so many movies in there.
I
Where'd all
remember
that
going to
stuff
Blockbuster
go?
on a Friday night with my dad, like in like us
All
and
the
kids.
time, yes.
And we'd pick out a movie. And then when I was, for a brief moment, I had an Xbox. It was like, like we went. I was like, I'm gonna rent a few games, and I played some of the games and brought them back. And it was just like that kind of nostalgia is like so tough that it's probably never coming back.
It is. It does kind of hurt to think about. Like that was like a whole thing. Like the going there, the getting it, and like I don't know what replaces that now is like. I guess everybody sit around and watch a Netflix show or watch a Netflix movie.
I think it's interesting too that just I think in the future we'll see we will see people and trends going back in the way of physical media stores.
It's just so loud. It just takes over the
literally-
whole.
It's so
There's
freaking
no
hot.
way.
I'm
It's
melting.
so hot.
Yeah. All right. Fine. That's fine. That's
You want to
fine.
address it or no? The fan is on.
The fan
The
is
fan
on.
is on.
The fan's
Oh,
on.
it's just on me and Ryan. That's
We're
kinda
in.
nice.
It's moving.
You can turn the up
The
and
bass.
down motion off too if you wanted to. I don't know how.
I'm not gonna get in the weeds on that.
No, certainly don't. Actually, you know what? Don't.
Yeah, I've never really
shouldn't.
paid attention to how crazy this fan is.
Pretty complex. Anyways, I think the thrifting culture is so interesting because it's like we're all going and buying used stuff,
Sure.
vintage stuff, which is great,
Well, what do you think about like going to a garage sale? Like, do you feel the same way about garage sale?
I need to start garage selling. I'll say because I watch a lot of these TikTokers that go to garage selling. Now they're doing it to flip and resell. And I'm not really particularly interested in that. I just think it's fascinating going through somebody like there's stuff in the driveway, and you're just kind of going through it. And what's kind of interesting, what's gotten me this conversation for us, started for me is like these garage sellers are running into a lot of people who are Googling their items and going,
Yeah, we did talk about that. Huh?
hey, this is a vintage jacket. It's worth $150, so you can buy it for $120. And a guy who's going to flip it's going, I'm not going to buy it for $120
To make
and
$30
then to make
off
$30
it.
bucks. I'm not going to take it home, put it on eBay for weeks. It's like,
That's why it's at a garage sale because don't you have to get rid of it?
well, there's two sides to this thing. A lot of people are saying, yeah, that's dumb. Like you're at a garage sale, just sell it for $5 and be done. And other people are going, well, they're kind of doing what you're doing. Like they're seeing the value in their item and
But
going,
If
But I
you're
agree.
not
I'm gonna
gonna,
resell it.
if you're not gonna put in the effort to resell it yourself,
I agree.
then
Sure.
you
I
need to
think-
get rid of it.
yes.
Well, that's something that I feel do is like, Cara is very aware of like the cost of her things. Like this jacket has resale value. These shoes have resale value.
Sure.
And so she'll, before it even makes it to the rack, before we donate it, before we do a garage sale or anything, she's like running the
I'll
Depop
try and sell
store.
it, and then if I don't sell it within a week, bye.
Then it's gone. But often you're like, oh yeah, I just sold these shoes for $30 or whatever, like online.
Interesting.
Totally. And so I think
Same
that
when I thrift things.
I agree. I think people should do that because you should know the value of your stuff. But at some point, it's like, hey, we're just going to donate all this stuff. So maybe somebody wants it for $1. So here you go. You can have it for $1, $5, whatever.
That's
50
how a
cents.
garage sale should be.
I think so too. Thrift store is great. You know, Goodwill gets people jobs.
Yeah.
I think that the flipping people on social media, I have a hard time with because I'm
Really?
like, yes, it's almost like they're gloating. It's almost like they're like, oh, these people don't know what they have. Like, score. Like, I'm going to make money off of it. You know, I don't know.
Like, no, I know
Remember
what I have.
Antiques Roadshow?
Yes.
That was that, but in a good way.
Antiques
It was
Roadshow.
like,
I love.
I'm so excited. You brought in this thing, and you got it
Oh
at
my
thrift store.
gosh.
You don't know what it is. Your grandmother gave it to you.
Usually in the south.
It's
South.
a traditional, you know.
It was
like,
George
traditional-
Washington's
Yes.
last,
$20,000
written letter to his wife or something.
There's one, and it lives in my
Wow,
mind rent
that's
free
brutal.
constantly, and it was
Somebody sold that.
it was a Native American chief's like blanket
Wow.
that has just been folded up in the corner of the room for generations. They're like, yeah, we don't really use it 'cause it's like kind of itchy and stuff, but we know it's old, so they brought it in. And the guy who's like appraising it literally was like, he's like, I'm shaking. He's like, I'm scared to touch it. Like, there's like maybe 5 of these known to existence.
Wow.
Like, all the rest have been destroyed and all this stuff. He's like, I can't believe you have this.
And
I was
it
like,
literally
oh my
just sitting-
gosh.
See,
Mom,
at
what
that
do we
point,
have that we could bring to Antiques Roadshow?
The worst part, though, is that, like, yeah, you get it appraised, but then it's like, I want to keep this in my family now. Like, now that I know that it's worth this much, I don't want to get rid of it,
Yeah.
you know?
It does make you think, like, why is it that valuable? I don't know. I start to think like, okay, well, it's only valuable because somebody says it is, right? I mean, it was literally sitting in the corner of somebody's house,
Yeah.
folded up.
Well, and part of that is like when you look something up, oh, this is going for $300 on eBay. Well, it's not.
Only if somebody buys it. If somebody pays that much, then it is.
Yeah.
You know?
It's
Yeah.
Which does anybody ever pay full price for something on eBay? No.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's why you look at the things. I mean, what's it like the actual sold price when you go and look something up, because somebody can list something on eBay for any price, but it's not like people are actually paying.
Have you ever been in a bidding war on eBay?
yes.
Like a live bidding war?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I have.
Down
So
to like
fun.
the last second.
Yes, it's so fun.
Yeah.
My first pair of Birkenstocks, bidding war.
Really?
Yeah.
We got my
It
mom an
started
Apple
at like
Watch.
$5,
Mm.
and it was like, because on eBay you can put it. It's the same thing. It's like, oh, I want to pay max $10,
Yeah.
and then you wait for it to hit. Someone paid $10.50. It's like, okay, my next max is gonna be
$11.50.
$15.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I dig that.
Wild. So cool.
You ever buy anything on eBay?
I bought that Kilo Green bobblehead. Well, not
Oh,
it's not really a
that's right.
bobblehead, but it was technically a
Figurine.
bobblehead figurine. But yeah,
I love
$15
eBay.
on eBay, worth it.
eBay's
Worth
That's
it.
where you find
15 or
It's great.
50.
15, 1-5.
Oh,
It was
that's not bad.
It was not. I wouldn't have paid $50 for it, but
Yes,
Yeah.
you would have.
no,
Come on.
not really. Honestly, I think I saw it at like 10 to $15. Some of them were going for like 45. I'm like, not that worth it to me. But it is cool, and it was worth it because it was $15, but $15, and it's free shipping. But
How much are you willing to pay for your childhood? To get a little piece of your childhood back.
I don't know
How much would you pay to go back to Blockbuster one last time?
Honestly,
tough.
kind of got
Thousands.
ruined.
That's tough.
Thousands.
That's tough. Yeah, probably thousands. I mean,
That's like a Black Mirror episode waiting to happen. How much would you pay to be able to relive a day of your childhood?
Well,
again?
here's what I think. I
Whoa.
think
Come on.
relive a day of your childhood.
Sure.
Oh wow. Okay, that's yeah.
The best day of your life.
Wow. I don't know. That's
If you could go back and feel the way you felt going into the Blockbuster on a Friday night, pick out whatever candy you want, pick out the movie,
I don't know even
if
know how
you
much
could
I'd pay.
bottle that and sell that, you could make I mean, that's like, what else do people want? Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, I think part of that too is I wonder if it would hit the same
Knowing what you know
being conscious of like your current state. You know what I'm saying? Like if you could go back and be in that same headspace.
Yeah.
Like I got all I have to worry about is school. I have no bills. I don't have a job. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what made that so
also
carefree and fun.
Blockbuster,
you know?
that was like, it was either that or you go to the movies.
Sure.
You're in a different headspace now with, I can look up whatever movie I want.
Chuck E. Cheese. Go run around Chuck E. Cheese for an hour and put tokens in the little machines, play some skee ball.
Yeah,
we've already talked about this. I'd bring Boomers back.
Bring back Boomers.
In the prime of its days.
Boomers or Family Fun Center?
Boomers is
Boomers.
They're the same thing.
I know, but
go further back, you're saying.
Yeah.
Boomers for me is like when you're a kid, and then I feel like I have memories like when I was in high school, and it was kind of like fun to go and screw around at the golf, the mini golf, and do all the rides and stuff, and like, oh man,
certainly,
totally, yeah, just troll that place.
Yeah,
drink soda for free.
I don't know how much I'd pay for that. That it's too hard to put a price on. I mean, like. I guess the better question is like maybe just throw a price out and see if it's worth it.
But it's kind of like, sorry, I totally cut you. Go.
No, it's okay. I was thinking like
it's very open for them right now.
$1,500, $2,000. Would you do it for $2,000?
Oh my God, no.
For $2,000, I'd probably put away some money to try to relive a day where you get to go and be a kid again.
How about you just make a day of that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Is
you literally
that's the whole thing.
I'm black mirroring you.
Back in time to that time.
Yeah,
because we can go to Disneyland right now. We can go to Disneyland, but it's never the same.
Old room and like see my old toys and like.
Ooh, wow,
you can't go home again.
Goosebumps.
A little misty.
Yeah, I think also because even what you would do to relax today is such a different feeling from that your childhood, spending a day in your childhood.
For
because like I can think of 1,000 things that I'd love to go and do and spend the day doing. But. As a kid, that was so different, and the feeling was so different,
So it's kind of like the bobblehead, right? Like, just buy it, right? Because you wanted that as a kid, and now you have disposable income.
And Khalil Green was such a, like, I have a ton of other memorabilia from Khalil Green.
For sure.
Like, for my 12th birthday, I got like a plaque of like Khalil Green. And it had like a piece of baseball for like one of his greatest accomplishments. And it was like a 1 in 500 of like this plaque. And so I was like kind of thinking like, that's what my memory is. It's like that bobblehead, that plaque. And I was, my mom has a guy who like can hunt down memorabilia. And I was like, I'd love to, I mean, it's not perfect, but I'm like, I'd love to get a Khalil Green signed baseball. I don't even know if they exist. Upon immediate Googling, like there wasn't like a right away answer, but there's a guy who's like, kind of like has his ear to the ground and if it's outrageous, obviously I wouldn't, but I have the Jackson Merrill stuff and I think he's the future of baseball for our team. And I also think like, Khalil Green was the future and kind of it was the present hero.
Sure.
The Tatis of that era. That I'm like, it'd be cool to have those side by side of like Jackson Merrill, which is like really I think my kids are gonna grow up loving Jackson Merrill.
Sure.
And Jackson Merrill
he probably still has years on the team. Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm like, how cool would it be to like have the Jackson Merrill stuff and have like the my childhood Padres hero like next to each other. Would be super kind of cool.
Right, because you don't know what you don't know. Like it's not like we are like, oh gosh, like the world sucks because we didn't have what our parents had growing up. Well, maybe we do a little bit, but not in like a way that's like, oh, I miss the 80s. Like I don't wake up every day being like, oh, I miss
early 2000s.
The early 2000s. I don't know.
No, I just think it's interesting, and I think unpopular opinion. I think Tatis is not going to be that guy for my kids. I think Merrill is going to be, because like 10 years from now, when my son is 10,
sure,
Merrill will be kind of like Manny's age,
right?
And I'm like, that's going to be the guy for at least 5 years.
The come up players
that and who knows? I mean, that Trenton Brooks guy looks good too. He hit that home run the other day, but
Trenton
Brooks,
my buddy, married to my old neighbor Danica. We used to be longtime family friends.
Brooks?
Yes, Trent Brooks. Okay. Danica Wilson, Queen.
Respect.
Love her.
Respect. All right.
I know. I was glad that they finally signed
Local
him on.
boy.
Local boy from Alpine.
Wow.
Joe
That's what
McQueen
we
kid.
need. That's what we need.
Some local blood in
Yeah.
there.
What's so crazy is their whole family just moved out to Tennessee.
Yeah.
And he finally gets signed with the Padres. And it's like, well, kids, pack it up. Move back.
Dang.
Yeah, I think
Move
I'd move
freaking
back if one of
back.
my kids was playing for an MLB team. I think I'd
You
follow
probably-
around
you
the
probably
US.
would.
Oh, well, I mean, her dad still lives here. Like, Dan, they still have part of their family here, but her mom, they were literally 2 doors down. It was us, a 2-story, and then 2 1-stories, and then their house. And our houses were the same exact house, only, like, flipped. And so they had, Danica was, like, 2-3 years older than me. Maybe 4. And then Erica, her younger sister, and I were the same age.
Yeah.
And so we were like little buddies.
Trent Brooks has got a bright future if he stays with the organization.
He's been at it for years. He's been in the minors forever.
He hit a bomb the other night. It was awesome.
Dang.
And no one was expecting it.
He
Too.
got-
Even the announcers were like, what the heck?
He got pulled up onto the Giants earlier last year, and then they like dropped him basically right away.
Giants, whatever.
Dang. We were
Yeah,
watching
recognize talent.
Field of Dreams the other day.
Really?
On Father's Day.
Aww.
Yeah. Well, now I'm dating this podcast. Right?
Well, that's fine.
Doesn't matter. The other day.
Yeah.
Could have been months ago.
Sorry, back to our original topic on thrifting. I was thinking the other day, I'm like, I know this cycle has been continuing for a long time. Thrift stores have been around forever. But I'm like, it's such a culture move now to like thrift. And you
Yeah.
guys obviously thrift regularly.
Mhm.
I'm like, are we getting close to an age where it's like the upper class, the 1%ers are the ones buying stuff new, and then it like kind of jumps down? Or
Trickles
is
down.
it like, or are we always going to be, is the system kind of working as it always has?
I think thrifting is more popular now because people are now thrifting to sell for their vintage pop-ups and their farmers market and swap meet and
Because
Yeah.
it's kind of like chic to be
yeah,
wearing.
you find a vintage brand for $3 at the thrift store. You can sell it for $50 at a
I
swap
also
meet.
envisioned a big box of Labubus in the corner of a thrift store someday, and it was like, oh,
like the troll dolls are.
like
And-
what,
and like
what
the
are
beanie-
those?
the
And
beanie
we're
Yeah,
like,
but now the troll dolls are those are back to collectibles and
Well,
you
we're in
know?
a very specific time now where all of that stuff is like
coming back.
Like vintage is cool again.
Yeah.
And like stuff that from
Never
any
boot.
era, like my mom always trips out whenever we're like, oh, we went to the thrift store. Like my sister's also a big thrifter and buys
Yeah.
clothes that are, whatever, old. And my mom is like, I can't believe that this is such a thing because when I was in high school, when I was growing up, my mom says like, if you shopped at a thrift store,
Yeah, it
you
was
were
like
like you were like poor.
Yeah,
You were like,
yeah.
oh, like secondhand stuff was
It's
like
still-
not a thing.
When we were
I mean, that's
kids-
why I go to thrift stores because of that too.
Okay, there is that element, but like
still
now,
go 'cause of that.
but now
No, but it used to be a
there is the
stigma.
Macklemore of it all, where
Yeah.
it's like kind of cool for Justin Bieber to be wearing old jeans,
I feel
or
like it started
somebody to
getting
be
cool
wearing
in, like,
whatever.
Maybe like
Someone needs to
2013.
check on that guy.
Yeah, poor guy.
JB.
You're not
JB, not
clocking
doing well.
that I'm standing on business right now. Have you guys
Yeah.
seen that? You're not clocking that I'm standing
No.
on business.
No.
I'm gonna pull it up.
I remember this like an interaction in elementary school where I complimented this girl's shirt, and it was like a Hollister shirt, and she was like so embarrassed, and she goes, "You can't tell anyone my mom got it at a thrift store."
Oh,
'Cause
that
it was
is so sad.
yeah, it was so
That's
shameful.
a find. That's a
Yeah,
good.
but
That,
not at the
that was a
time.
good
elementary
find.
school.
Not at the time.
Oh yeah, it's like
It is
you
so
go back
interesting.
going back
right?
in time, like because you don't have, no offense, children, but like real responsibilities.
Untaken.
And I bet you even in an elementary school right now, thrifting still has that
Oh
stigma.
yeah.
Oh, I'm
I think-
sure.
I think it's when
there
you
is
become
there's
an
a different
adult,
like cultural
you get
currency
your own
there.
you get your own money, and then you start buy you go out when you get your first paycheck and you just blow that thing on all whatever you want, and then you go, this is ridiculous. I'm not paying $35 for a t-shirt. I'm just not doing it.
No
You
way.
I'm not doing it. I'm
They're
gonna get the
so-
$5 one. We were at Old Navy. Talk
Old
about
Navy.
fast fashion. Like
Yeah,
feel
that
like
place
the
is
worst of
pumping
the
it out.
worst.
But good material.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot of it is
Yeah.
like nice.
Well,
but
it's 'cause the
there's-
kids are making it in
Yeah.
Indonesia. of course.
Because they're
Yeah,
really good
yeah.
at what they
They're
do.
really good at what
They're
they
really
do.
talented.
Yeah.
There's like there's a shirt like actually this shirt. God. There's these shirts, they have a bunch of
no.
colors, and I was gonna get another one, but I got this shirt for $5 and now they're up to 12, and I'm like, "Pff, I'm not paying $12 for a $5
Hold
shirt.
on, you saw that for $5? You didn't grab it in every single color?
I grabbed in 3 colors.
Oh, okay. All right,
pretty good.
respect.
Pretty good.
I feel like thrifting really depends on how you grew up too.
Yeah.
So like we grew up doing theater and like going to camp, and like every summer.
Oh, true.
Because
You thrifted your costumes, yeah.
Well, camp
For
it was
sure.
you were on a color team, and it was like, oh, I'm on the red and green team.
And you didn't
I'm
actually
getting
care
red
what
and
you
green.
wore. The more
Yeah.
ridiculous, the
The
better.
better.
It
you
was
know?
actually kind of part of it. Like if you're wearing this like ridiculous red jumpsuit, you're
Yeah,
like, I'm
it
gonna
was
wear it
kind
all
of-
week.
So like
Yeah.
going
Hard.
thrifting,
Totally.
going thrifting for camp was like,
That's right.
Oh
That
my gosh,
was-
that was the best thing
that
ever.
was such a
finding
big
stuff
part
for
of
camp.
it too. Was
Yeah.
going to Goodwill.
It's interesting. It's such an interesting culture.
Okay, this is JB.
I'm a dad, I'm a husband. You're not getting it. It's not clocking to you. It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business, is it?
We're on the sidewalk,
I don't give a
We're on the sidewalk.
I'm a human being. You're standing around my car
True.
at the beach. You know what I'm saying? You don't think I'm a real guy, do you? You're gonna take this video out of context. You're gonna say I'm mad. I don't know who the paying you to provoke me, but I'm not the one. Okay? Stop provoking me. I'm a real dad.
The
You know
line
what?
that's going around on TikTok is it's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's not clocking to you that
Here's-
I'm standing on
How
business.
old is that video?
It's new. It
Here's
just
what
happened.
I'll say about Justin Bieber. He's never gotten the feel of being a celebrity. Never.
No.
It's
I
crazy.
want to say, if I had to
hates
give it a
it.
percentage, I'd say the amount of videos that I've seen him acting like that is 100%. It's 100% of the
I feel
videos
like
I've seen.
he just became so big
It's
so
like,
fast as
brother,
a kid that
poor
it
The
was
guy.
moment
never.
you made your first million, you're done.
You're cooked.
You know, you don't get to do the normal thing anymore.
It's
you
not
know?
clicking to you that I'm standing on business.
I'm just a dad. I'm a dad.
I'm a dad.
I think it's not
husband.
clocking him that,
I think
that he's not setting
You know
up
what?
business.
You know what? I'm with him. It's not clocking to that guy. That Justin's standing on business.
I just like, dude, you're worth like, what, $150 million? You don't get to just go to the beach, brother. Buy a freaking beach house. You know, like,
What's
Do you think
crazy?
he ever played with a Ouija board?
Oh,
Yeah,
for
probably.
for sure.
Yes.
He probably had one custom made. A
You
Drew
think he
House
asked for it?
Ouija board.
Do you think he said like, "Hey Ouija, like, will you make me rich and famous"?
As a
you
kid?
think he made a deal with the devil? Is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, and
Yeah,
he's reaping the
probably.
bad benefits.
No,
of
he
it.
made a deal with
Oh.
Usher.
Usher.
devil.
And Usher made a deal with P. Diddy.
P. Diddy comes.
And P. Diddy made a deal
Come
with.
on now.
The devil.
Jeffrey
devil.
Epstein.
Jeffrey
Oh.
Epstein made a deal with.
Or no, sorry, Harvey Weinstein. That's the guy.
You think it's too soon to be joking about that kind of
About
stuff?
Jeffrey
Yeah,
Epstein?
probably.
Like just all that, like how awful
Yeah.
that is.
Too
really
soon.
horrible.
It's happening constantly all the time around.
I guess
us.
it's like-
our world's being run
Oh,
by
dude,
pedophiles.
Justin
What are you
Bieber's worth
talking about?
300 Justin Bieber's worth $300 million.
Yeah,
That-
dude.
wow.
He has so many
That's what I'm
investments.
saying though. Like you're worth $300 million. You gotta stop acting like that. Like the world does not owe you anything. You know what I'm saying? You made $300 million off of us.
Here's the
Guess what?
thing.
When you're in public, we all get a picture with you. I hate to break it
The
to you,
man's
brother.
a human being. What? He can't hang out at
But
his
he
car.
could go into
the man's
hiding.
hanging out at his car.
Not
How many
anymore.
dollars makes you not a human being?
$100 million plus does that makes
You're
you,
no longer a human?
What
you
about
might,
90
You might as
mil?
well buy some land.
$9.99, you're fine.
And build what you want to build out there. I mean, he has the
You talking
ability
about
to do
Michael
that.
Jackson type beat?
That's what
by
I'm
the
saying.
grocery
Like-
store.
Like truly, that's what I'm saying. Like you're worth $300 million.
So what's the threshold?
I think
$1 million?
No, I think it's
$2 million?
I think it's probably between 25 and 50 million.
Aren't they? I think they're scouting him out right now because he had like kind of an unhinged post
And they're getting divorced.
And
like a couple weeks ago.
A
or
lot of people are
something.
saying that.
Yeah.
they're getting divorced.
Yeah.
Yes, and she's already dating somebody else.
A lot
Yes,
of people
it's
are
crazy.
saying that
Yes.
he
When
was
did that happen?
So
he was
people-
on stage with SZA.
Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
And
People are afraid he's crashing out again.
he's
Shut
like
up.
doing
No
fentanyl,
way.
maybe. Yeah.
No, he did post a ton of pictures of him smoking weed. Like a ton. Where I was
Reefer.
But that's
Rape
what's crazy. is, like,
madness?
here's my thing. He got famous at like 15 years old.
Yeah.
Dude, it
And
was
they
younger than that. I
never
think it was,
reined him
like,
in. Like they could
13.
never rein him in. Even at 15, no one could get him like
Remember
on the straight and
when he
narrow.
got for he got arrested
in
for
a
like
bucket or
egging
Yeah.
his neighbor's house.
It's like
he's
a
a
teenager.
millionaire and he's
That
egging
sucks.
people's house.
Dude, if I was a millionaire, I not only would I egg somebody's house, I'd create a Gatling gun that shot eggs out of it, and I would just drive by the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like 15,
I
and
would
making.
love to see that.
You know what I'm saying?
How much do you think Justin Bieber would pay to go back and live one day as a child?
Oh, no, I'm
the
sure.
day before he got famous.
I'm sure he's paying not to go back. I'm sure he's paying right now not to
No,
go back.
I'm sure he'd give all 300 mil back to go
to
back
go
and
back
have a
to
normal
be a normal
life.
kid. That's kind of the
Same.
vibe I'm getting.
But that's
It's
what
like,
I'm saying. Like, I get like you look at Michael Jackson and he was clearly like messed from all the child.
as a kid, I
star.
mean, same age, younger
But I'm
even.
also like,
9 years old.
Michael, like I think in terms of the way he handled his fame, that's kind of you've got to isolate yourself. You got to figure out a way that what makes you happy and make it private. It's not on the burden of the people to make your life private.
I don't think a single person that got famous before they turned 18 can possibly do that. I think Justin Bieber, all these Disney Channel kids, I think Michael Jackson, I think people like that, in my opinion, get a pass, because not a pass for, bad things they may have done as an adult, but
I mean, it's
we can never be like, well, he's well-adjusted, or
I know
they'll
he's not
never be
well-adjusted.
that.
I'm just saying, what the difference is, hey, I give him a pass too. The guy, he's probably had a hard life. I'm saying doing that quarterly is not
freaking
the way.
out on the
it's not the
paparazzi.
way.
I think we can give him one a quarter.
What a quarter!
One a quarter.
Well, he's probably maxed
he's got
out.
more money than God, man. Are you kidding me, JB?
I don't know.
You know what he could do with all that money? Get a lot of Patreon support. You know what I'm saying? Support this podcast a few times over. Well, he'll be fine.
My bad.
Maybe we'll find another Justin Bieber out in our audience today.
I'd pay $1 million to go back to have live a day in my life with the young Justin Bieber.
Would you pay
The baby
$4
tour.
a month to support What the Podcast? Now, you can do that. Down below in the bio, we've got a link to our Patreon. Okay, this is the part of the show where we ask you for money. And that is because we love doing what we do. We love podcasting, keeping the lights on, keeping the cameras running. So thank you in advance for doing that. Go down and check out our Patreon. We got a lot of cool content in there. Post-show action. We're going to be talking about some crazy things on the post-show this week. Whole other episode of the podcast. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A little Bono episode.
I don't know about that.
A little Bono and a Bono.
I don't know
type of
about. I
beat.
don't know about Bono. I don't know if we're going
Bono.
with
It's
that.
short for bonus.
I got the reference for sure.
All right, that's fair. Guys, it's hot as hell in here. It's a Santee summer.
Santee summer.
As we know.
Ooh, ooh.
On the couch, as always, Cara Tafolla, Annie the Skovmand. I'm Ryan.
And I'm John.
And we'll see you next week on
What the Podcast?
God's go to the bathroom. I'm dying.
I lost my voice this week.
It's so hot. Honestly, guys, I'm doing a deep dive on Justin Bieber's Instagram, and he's fully crashing out.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it more on the post show.
He posted a clip from Free Willy.
Love. There we go.